This is the plaintiff, Brian Parnell. He says the defendant, someone he knew from his old neighborhood, sold him a bad car and didn't tell him it had been totaled in an accident. He told the unethical woman he wanted his money back, and she refused. There are lemon laws in this country. What this woman did to him isn't fair, and he's here to get his very hard-earned $1,500 returned. This is the defendant, Alana Dennis. She says the plaintiff gave her some of the money for the car, but not all of it. And as time went by, it became clear he wasn't going to be able to pay for the car in full. When she refused to refund his money, the punk cursed her out and called her a hoe and a crackhead. This kid has some nerve calling her those things, and it'll be a cold day in you-know-where before she gives him his money back. She's accused of unloading a piece of junk. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,500 for storage and aggravation.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the defendant sold the plaintiff a bum car that had been in an accident but didn't tell the person. The defendant says the plaintiff didn't even pay for the car. It's the case of give him the hook.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're
Brian
welcome.
Parnell, you are suing Alana Dennis, your friend's sister.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? For $1,500 in a deposit that you put down in a 94 Honda Civic with her that she refuses to return to you, that you feel you have a right to have returned. You have a counterclaim against him for $1,500, $800 for storage for 8 months, and $200 for aggravation, and $500 for removing the motor. What's going on?
She was selling the car for like $3,000, and I gave her half for the shell. She was going to take the motor.
Did you agree to buy it at $3,000?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you had seen the car?
Yes, ma'am.
You had test driven the car?
No,
No. Why come?
couldn't start.
Sorry, where'd you want it? 94 Honda? This had to have some extra stuff on it because I don't understand. I'm not following.
It didn't have no extra stuff. It had a broken window, no tail lights.
So why are you buying this hoopty? Is this your first car?
I couldn't trust her.
Why do you trust her? You don't know her from a hole in a wall. Is this your first car?
Yes, ma'am. I didn't know much about
Why didn't you
cars.
take somebody? I understand there's a first time for everybody, but why didn't you take somebody who knew something with you? So that,
I really didn't have anybody.
oh, right. Who's the lady next to you?
My mother.
But why didn't you take her?
I was pretty stubborn.
Ah. Come on up, Mom. What's going on?
I decided to keep out of it. On the day that he said he's going to pay her the money, I said, can I go with you? And he said yes. So we went over to her house, and she said $1,500. I'm just going to tell you what happened on that particular night. She came out, he gave her the money, and I said
This is
to
what
her,
day?
September 28th of last year. Somehow she convinced him that it can be used for, those drag racing. So it was something like
now
that.
we start to make sense.
Right. So she convinced him, or whoever convinced each other. So she said it had a souped up engine.
Okay.
She was going to take it
Why
out.
won't you just tell me the truth? Why do I have to go to your mama for that?
It had a souped up engine.
Sorry, yeah.
She's going to take it out. It had some red and white seats. She said those were custom. She's going to take those out.
She tells him all this?
She's telling me all of this. Then it had souped up rims. She's going to take that out.
And he was fine with all that.
So I said, what is he getting for $1,500?
No, $3,000.
No, $1,500.
$1,500 is what he's paying right then, but he's supposed to pay $3,000.
That's what I am witnessing too. $1,500. I don't know nothing about the $3,000.
You don't even know about the other
so
things.
I said to him, "What are you getting?" I asked her, "What is he getting for $1,500?" So after she takes out all of that, the only thing she said that she would put a motor in so that the car could be moved. So I said, when he handed over the money to her, I said, well, isn't he going to get a receipt? So I brought my receipt book with me, and she wrote him the receipt.
Let me see.
She even wrote the receipt to herself, which I had to correct her and said, no, you can't write the receipt to yourself. You have to write the receipt to him.
Right.
And then I said to her, well, you're going to write on it that if he cannot get the car to be registered, you're going to give him his money back. I
The car is not title. I will refund the money in full amount.
Right.
And you say that that means what?
Well, when you purchase a car,
If she doesn't give him a clear title, then he can register.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. And then you left. And so did you lie to her and tell her you were only paying $1,500 for it?
No, he didn't.
She said she was going to take out the engine, so the shell of the car was only $1,500.
Back it up. I left off with you're buying the car for $3,000.
Yeah, and then we changed the agreement because
What'd you change it to?
We'll only buy the shell
For $1,500.
$1,500. That's it. I never
Meaning
got
what? What's the shell? Everything
just
but the engine?
Engine.
Okay. What about the seats? Your mom says that she told you also you weren't getting the seats, you weren't getting the rims.
She's going to put in some other seats.
Right. And she'll just put in some other rims?
Yeah, some other stuff.
And you'll just get like the tin worm?
Yeah.
No extra charge, and that was fine with you. And did you sign something that said that? Well, yeah, you gave the $1,500 is what you did. And then what happens? Then you realize this is not such a good deal for you.
I didn't get no title, no car, so I asked for my money back.
Well, you didn't get no title, no car, because according to her, you still owed money for other things you were negotiating, right?
Yes, ma'am.
According to you, he's buying the car for $3,000.
Yes.
And then that changes into what?
First of all, let me explain. The car is a Honda Civic. It's a 94 Honda Civic. It's not a piece of junk. I have pictures of the car when the car was clean with paint job and everything. The car got hit
when the car was clean,
which means body work, everything is done. Nothing.
Yeah, but that's fine. But you have pictures of a car that doesn't exist. I got pictures of me looking 22 in front.
I also have the pictures. I also have the pictures of the car when the car was hit, as they saw it. He knew what was wrong with the car. He talked about he told me to take out the motor because he's gonna get a K series. A K series is a faster motor than what I had in the car. That's for racing.
Okay. So now you renegotiate the $3,000.
Yes.
You're gonna take the motor out?
Yes.
The seats out?
Yes.
And the rims?
Yes, because the motor, the seats were Recaro seats. That's $800 seats. I was gonna put in factory seats back in the car.
Okay.
The rims, one of the rims were bent.
Because this is what? To try to get it to him because he's complaining that he can't afford it?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you take out the motor, the seats, and the rims, you will now hand it over to him at what price? The price he'd already paid?
$1,100. It's $1,100 for the shell without the motor, and it's $400 for the rims because one is messed up. Those rims with the tire is $700. So I'm giving him a good deal.
Can I see a picture of the car? See, I'm just kind of like fascinated, but really it doesn't matter. If you want to pay $7,000 for this pen, this is America. And if you want to pay me that and I want to sell it to you for that, you can pay me. This is America, you know? This is America. There's no law against that.
I told him I would give him headlights. He then turns around and say, okay. I told him anything he needed help for that he couldn't find because he's a new first-time guy in the Honda game.
What's the Honda game?
The Honda game is a bunch of kids who get Hondas and hook them up and go out and, you know.
Race. You can say it. We all know what you're thinking. Race. So now the deal changes to $1,500. You get a new set of rims or no?
OG Shakira rims.
What do you say? Is that what the last thing she said not true?
Yes, it's true.
It is true. Okay, so now we're at $1,500 with 4 Shakira rims. Shakira rims. Okay, yes. Minus a motor plus stock seats. And then what goes wrong?
After that, the next week he comes back. Alana, I really want your car. Please don't take out the motor. Keep the motor in.
And what? And I'll buy the car for the original $3,000?
Yes, I'll give you the $15,000.
Is that part true?
Yes.
And I'll buy it at the original price?
Yes.
And then I see that later on, like a month later, you still haven't come up with the ponied up the dough, and then you're trying to renegotiate it again at that point. And what is it that you renegotiated to then?
$1,500 because I feel like I'm being scammed out my money because $1,500
So now you want back the original deal, which you take out the motor.
Yeah.
And then it's back to the $1,500 like we said?
Yes, ma'am.
And then what happens?
He said he didn't want the car no more. So I'm like, you know what? I can't take it. Just take me to court. I kept saying, just take me to court. I couldn't deal with it anymore.
So where's the car right now?
It's in my yard.
And you have a counterclaim against him for $1,500.
Yes, ma'am.
For $800 in storage, which you never had a storage agreement with him.
No.
And $200 for aggravation. I'm not sure why 200. That's like some magic number. And $500 for what?
My friend had to take the motor out. I had to pay him to take
motor out, motor in. Motor out, motor in. Okay. You didn't pay your friend $500 to take the motor out.
Yes, I did.
You have proof of that?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
So You're a parent. Do you ever buy your kid a car that he wants to use for drag racing?
Oh, no. I wouldn't do that. Not at all.
Is there any circumstance that you would say drag racing is okay?
Absolutely not. It's unsafe.
It's almost more than unsafe. You got to pick a stronger word than unsafe.
It's ludicrous.
Okay. Well, I don't want to get into rap music right now, though. That's the thing. Going inside the courtroom.
So right now, what have you got sitting on your property?
The shell
The shell
with the rims.
with
and
which
the pink rims that he asked for.
which ones?
The Shakira? Yeah, OG
Okay.
Shakira.
With what else?
And the seats.
The stock seats?
Everything that he was
So
getting the car
everything from the $1,500 version is there?
with. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go pick up your car. Because you can't get your money back. You can't change the deal over and over. And really, it's kind of starting to look like you're going to lose your $1,500. This little note that says here, if the car is not titled, I will refund. Your mom has explained means exactly what I think it means, which is if she can't provide a clear title. If she can't provide a clear title, this is a whole other case for a whole other judge. But I have no evidence in front of me to suggest that. Go pick up the car. We'll make arrangements for him with Officer McIntosh so that you two have as little contact as possible. And that's the end of this case. Good luck, folks, on your counterclaim against him. Do you have a counterclaim
Yes.
for $1,500? I don't think so. Okay.
So the judge rules that the plaintiff cannot undo the deal that you struck. Step in here. What's your reaction to this, and what are you going to do?
Just take up the car and that's it.
You're going to pick it up
Yeah.
without the motor in it and whatever it's got, whatever.
Yeah.
Right, and then you're going to do what? Put the motor in, or are you going to?
Probably
you gonna
sell
do?
it all for junk it.
Did you want it for racing? Is that what it was?
No, I just want something to get around.
Get around.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. So head right down there. He bought his car and he's stuck with it. All right. So step on in here. Did you know this the whole time that you were in the right?
Yeah, I know I was in the right. He claimed he knew the law. I said, okay, since you know the law, just take me to court. I couldn't tell. It was a whole back and forth with, yeah, I want the car, I don't want the car. When I had 3 other buyers, I just couldn't deal.
You know an awful lot about this
No,
subject.
It's not that I know an awful lot. I mean, I'm just saying
Cars.
Yeah, cars because I'm into the cars, but I'm just telling him no.
How'd you get so into cars?
I have a lot of friends that's boys that's into cars, and we all hang out and we fix up cars and stuff.
You can fix cars up?
Yes, I
Very
can.
good. All
I
right.
used to work at a body shop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Harvey.
You know, you can have as much protection in a contract as you write in. Here, they didn't write in enough stuff to protect them, and that's how you lose a case. Write down specifically what your expectations are, and you will be better off in the end.